Hello there, I'm Black Bright, and I was reading about Sean Diddy Combs this morning. And the headlines read, Sean Diddy Combs owes nearly 100 million US dollars in mortgages on luxury Los Angeles, Miami mansions. That was raided by the feds. Apparently he hasn't been charged with anything at the moment. You know, they're still having investigations, but they haven't found anything. Anyway, the first thing that came to mind is he's a billionaire. Why would he owe 100 million pounds, dollars in mortgages? Now, for somebody like me who's not financially savvy, if I was a millionaire or a billionaire, I'd pay off for all of those houses. And I would say, thank God, I've got nothing more to pay. You know, if I want to rent them out, I don't owe anything to anybody. And that would be my attitude. I always think, you know, my dream and like my mother's dream was to not owe a mortgage, you know, to be mortgage free. But when you think about somebody like P Diddy, like now he's going under investigation. Don't know if they're going to find anything or if they're not going to find anything. But it does mean he's going to have to employ lawyers. And it does mean they're going to dip deep into that £1 billion. Now, supposing the debts that he's incurring through all these legal charges and whatever else exceed the 1 billion. It's possible. I doubt it, but it's possible. What it would mean is that those houses that have mortgages on them, they wouldn't be able to be touched. And so he's probably got a good financial advisor. That's why I said I'm not financially savvy. Who said to him, look, you know, if you ever get into financial problems, it's not good to have all your property paid off. Because as long as you owe a mortgage, they can't take it because the property doesn't belong to you. It's similar to those that series. If you don't pay, we'll take it away. And what they do is they look for any kind of property or cars that the debtor owns. And the first thing they'll say is, do you have finance on this car? If they have finance on this car, they have to leave it. If they don't, they take it. So there are advantages. I would like to hope that as a billionaire you didn't get yourself in financial debt or you didn't get yourself in any trouble so that your properties could be seized. But like I said, you know, he's in trouble now. He probably never foresaw that he was going to be in this kind of predicament when he took out those properties, I think, you know, over 15, 16 years ago. But you just never know, do you? And so, whereas I'm thinking, okay, they're saying you're better off having a mortgage than paying off cash. And I was wondering, who does that benefit? Because they're saying, oh, well, if you need another loan or if you need to, or they're saying something about you can invest that money that you would pay cash in something else. But it doesn't seem to be in the individual's interest, not really, when they're making those suggestions. I would have thought that if you could buy 8 houses cash, you wouldn't need to worry about taking out loans. But I think especially in America, loans are really encouraged. And I would remember that when I first went to America, I couldn't even get a bank account opened because I didn't have a loan and I didn't have a credit history. And so what determines whether or not you're a good payer is the fact that you take out a loan and you pay it back methodically. It's not good to even, if you take out a loan, it's not good to pay that off all at once. You know, sometimes they say, oh, if you've got a Barclay card or something, you know, and you're going to use it, it's best to pay off all of that money so you don't pay interest. But from a building up strong credit profile point of view, it's kind of looked down on because they cannot see how consistent you are with regard to your payments. They cannot see whether or not you're a good payer. They cannot see whether over 2 or 3 years you can pay, whether it's £20 a month or £100 a month consistently with no late payments, because that's how they deduce what kind of person you are and what kind of character you have. So a lot of people, they think, okay, I'm going to pay off this debt or whatever it is quickly, and so therefore they don't build up a good credit rating. So I guess when you're thinking about somebody like P Diddy, who a lot of people would probably think, oh, he's bought all those houses in cash, they sit back envying him or admiring him, whatever it is they do, got all these big lavish properties, and you wouldn't expect to hear that he's got debt. And then when you hear that he's got debt, you're prone to judge him because he has debt, because you're thinking, God, he's a billionaire. But that's what how we've been taught. A lot of us have been miseducated, especially black people, and especially in terms of money. We have not been educated how to spend, save, or invest. You know, I think with black people, they say we're quite myopic when it comes to buying things. We buy things that we want. We buy things for the now. We don't wait until tomorrow. So we don't build up. That's not all black people, of course. There's people who are sensible. But for the majority of black people, we tend to live for today when it comes to money. And that's why the shops and the businesses like to target black people, because they know that they are going to spend goodness knows how much on a Gucci bag, even if they don't have rent to pay, even if they've got their rent to pay, or they don't own a house, I should say. They would spend goodness knows how much on a posh car, even though they're eating cornflakes, that kind of thing, because they are very status. And it's not even status as in having real credible status. It's like they like to be associated with wealth, and it's probably because they were deprived of wealth. Anytime you don't have anything when you're young, as soon as you get an opportunity to have it, you tend to go to the excess. And I think that's what happens with a lot of black people, because they never used to have. Now they overdo it. And so when they have money, instead of investing it wisely, they tend to just spend it frivolously. I'm no different. I kind of draw a balance. I try to save a little. I do save every single month, no matter how small it is. But the fact of the matter is, I still buy, because I think to myself, am I going to wake up tomorrow morning? But it's the same reason why I made my decision to take out my pension in full, because am I going to live tomorrow? And yet 20 years later, I'm still here. So it's about taking a risk, and it's about being hopeful, and it's about hoping that you're going to live to benefit in the long term, and not keep thinking, oh, I might die tomorrow. And it says it in the Bible as well, live for today, for tomorrow you die. And I can understand that concept, but you still have to have something put away for a rainy day. You still have to have money put aside for emergencies. You still have to be sensible. Or I shouldn't say you have to. It's wise to be sensible. So in terms of Sean Diddy Combs, I was shocked at first when I thought, oh my God, he owes 100 million. And the media make it look as though it's a flaw, as though he's doing something wrong, as though that he shouldn't do that. But really, it's up theirs. It's a kind of up yours message, because it's like, okay, you can do whatever you want, but I've still got 100 million that I can hold on to, because I've got mortgages until 2027, 2034, whatever the expiry date of the mortgages are. So they can't touch that, and that would make them feel really, really peeved. So, yeah, I just thought I'd run that by you. And I'm going to stop it here. I'm Black Bright News. I hope you're enjoying your Easter. Don't forget to put your clocks forward, because today's the 31st of March. And I think